Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Got the D-Man here. Haven't said that for a while, and glad you could join me as always. It's a beautiful September morning in St. Louis, Missouri today, and today's topic is going to be, well, how should I put it? Let's say health. Today's topic is health, mental health, physical health, and emotional health. I was watching some videos about the vaccine, and that reminded me of health. And I know people, friends of mine, have taken the vaccine, and friends of mine have not taken the vaccine. I'll let you guess if I've taken it or not. I believe everyone has a right to choose for themselves. I don't believe anyone should be forced to take the vaccine. Everyone should act by their own moral conscience. Okay, I've helped people for years, counseled people, and I've counseled people that have taken medicine. I don't tell anyone to get off their medicine. I am not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just a man who's lived 61 years, and I've had a lot of experiences in life. And what I come here to do is share my experiences with you, and you can take what you need and leave the rest. Okay, but my first thing when someone tells me that they're taking medication, I ask them, what is the problem? Because the medication just deals with the symptom of the problem. Unless you get down to the root causes of the problem, you're never going to be rid of the problem, and you will always have to take medication to deal with the symptoms because the problem will always exist. You must remove the problem. And I find that similar in this situation with the current health crisis, I'll put it that way. I have to be careful what I say. I don't want to, well, to be careful how I put this. The current health crisis. We as Americans, or as people, as a human race, we want the easier, softer way, which is obvious which is wonderful to a certain degree because look, we have washing machines now, we have dryers. Before, women had to scrub on a rock in a lake, and then they got washboards, wringer washers. Many of you don't know what that is. My grandmother had a wringer washer. Okay, that was a step up from the old washboard. Okay, so this desire of humans to make things easier and more comfortable and to work better, to have better ideas, to be more efficient is good. But the problem is when it comes to our health, we want to run to the doctors for a shot or a pill or something like that to take care of something within us that we've contracted or we've created within us because of our lack of, due diligence in taking care of our body, in taking care of all aspects of our body, our physical aspect, our emotional aspect, and our spiritual, our metaphysical aspect, however you choose to word that. And we want to take a pill. It's easy to take a pill. It's hard to meditate every day, 2 or 3 times a day. It's hard to exercise every day, 2 or 3 times a day. It's only hard until you develop the habit of doing it. And when you develop the habit, it becomes harder not to do it. I ran for years, and it was really difficult for me to stop running. But I made the choice to stop running because when I run, I have a very physical job. I'm in construction. When I run, I do not have the same zip and energy in my legs at work. And I always said when I quit competing, I wanted to work out and build my body and have a better physique. So that's what I've done. I traded running for lifting weights. I can lift weights pretty regularly and still have plenty of energy to walk very fast at work and get a lot of things done. So I traded one for the other. But I have a very physical job, which I enjoy. Okay, plus I work out. So I've taken care of my body from the time I was about 20 years old. Now that's not to say I didn't party. I did a lot of partying and drugs and drinking until I was about 30 years old and I quit. I haven't done that since I was 30. Okay, but since I was 20, I exercised, I always took care of my body, I was involved in sports, and I'm 61 today, and I'm in better shape than most 20-year-olds. I can get in the ring and box around. I'm not in that good a shape to box more than one round, but I can make one round, and I'm about to sneeze here. I had to edit that out. So I can make one round, but I don't train. If I train for a month, I could fight 3 rounds. Okay, I'm 61 years old. All right, I could go out right now. I haven't ran for probably 6 months. I could run a couple miles. It'd be a little tough, but I could do it. Now, when you're young, you don't have to work out, you don't have to run. You can go out and run a mile or 2 before you're like 15 or 16. If you're a normal, well, maybe not a normal kid these days, but a kid that was normal back when I was a kid, you could just take off and go running because you were in good shape, because you played outside, you ran around, you played flashlight tag, you played army, different games you played, football in the neighbor's yard, wiffle ball, different things, okay? But nowadays, people eat so much fast food, and a lot of our food is so processed, they don't get the vitamins and the minerals that they need to get that I got as a child, because the food was still relatively, we'll say, less processed than it is now. So back to the point of health, though, we want to go take a pill to take the place of exercise. We want to take a pill to take the place of looking within ourselves, doing an inventory, and looking at what's inside of us that's causing us this discomfort, that's making us want to overeat and become obese, or drink too much and become alcoholic, or do drugs and become an addict. Why are we ingesting these things into our body in amounts that are harmful to us? And then we want to run to the doctor and ask him to fix it with a pill or more medication or whatever it happens to be. You have a powerful immune system, but it's not going to work well unless you take care of the body it's housed in. Your car is not going to run well unless you keep the oil maintained, keep it clean, put good gasoline in it. It's the same principle. But how many times, go past the car wash today and look at the people washing their cars. Some of them have beautiful cars. Most of the cars are pretty nice. Look at the people, look at their bodies. Look at what kind of physical shape they're in. They take better care of their cars than they do their bodies. And then they get sick and they wonder why. Their knees go bad and they wonder why. They're carrying 50 or 100 pounds of extra weight. Now, I'm not condemning anybody for being overweight. I was overweight at one time too. I was 30 pounds heavier than I am now. I weigh 154, which is the same weight I fought at in my 20s. Okay? At 84 pounds, which is 30 pounds more, my knees hurt. I could tell when I gained 5 pounds, the difference when I was running and working out and exercising. But I got to where I had a habit of overeating, and it developed into a habit, a cycle, and it was really difficult to break. But I wasn't overeating because I was hungry. I was overeating because of discomfort, dis-ease within myself. I was not at ease with myself. I was not comfortable in my own skin, so I was seeking comfort in food, because at that time I wasn't doing any drugs or drinking or anything like that. Okay, so where was the problem? Was the problem that I was overeating? No, that was a symptom of the problem. When I was drinking and doing drugs, was that a problem? No, that was a symptom of the problem. I would quit drinking a lot of times, maybe for a month, a year, a day, for weeks at a time. But I always returned to it because I didn't deal with the problem, and the problem was within me. Guilt, shame, remorse, low self-esteem, low self-worth. And then these things that we do, the drugs, the alcohol, food, whatever it happens to be, just builds more. It adds on to the existing problem of low self-worth, because you don't feel good about yourself. I remember when I was really heavy, I didn't even want to go out. I didn't want people to see me. Although people would look at me and say, well, you're not fat. I mean, I was 184 at about 6 foot tall. Yeah, I didn't look fat, but I felt fat, and I was fat, okay? I mean, if I'm 154 now, add 30 pounds on me, and people don't think about that. Pick up a 25-pound weight from a gym set and carry that around for 5 minutes. Now, what do you think that's going to do to your body if you carry that around for years? Your knees bending up and down. How tired do you think you're going to be at the end of the day if you have to carry that around? But the deal is, people gain that over a slow period of time usually, and they don't notice it right away. It's like the frog in the frying pan or boiling water. If you throw a frog in a pan of boiling water, he'll jump out, okay? But if you put him in there and turn it on slowly, he'll sit there and let himself cook. It's the same thing. We don't gain this weight overnight. We don't become alcoholic overnight. We don't become a drug addict overnight. But over a period of time, we develop a habit of doing drugs, of drinking too much, of overeating, and then this happens to us. We carry a couple extra pounds in a month or two, and then it's a couple more, and then a couple more. Before you know it, you're 50 or 100 pounds overweight, and you think, how did I get here? Then you want to lose it overnight. You didn't gain it overnight. You're not going to lose it overnight. I had a hell of a time maintaining my weight. It wasn't until I was about 30. I still struggled with it. I started doing triathlons when I was probably, 22 or something like that. So that helped me maintain the weight. But I still had the problem of overeating. Then I just over-exercised to combat the overeating. But it wasn't until in my 30s that I started looking within myself and getting rid of the trash inside of me, the garbage, the dishonesty, the deceit, the guilt, the shame, all these things. These are the things I was trying to cover up with the food, the drugs, and the alcohol. When I started dealing with that, then it got to where I could eat a cookie or two and not eat the whole bag. I could enjoy food. But it took time. It didn't happen overnight. I remember a couple times I took Crystal to maintain my weight. Quick fix right there. Me too. I was looking for the quick fix, the easy way out. Everyone wants the easy way out. And I back up to this deal about getting, I'll say this, our current health crisis. Like I said, I'm not anti-vaccine or for the vaccine. Like I said, I have friends that took it, and I have friends that haven't taken it. Okay, it's their choice, whatever they want to do. But if someone come to me and ask me if they should take it or not, I would say this: how's your health? Okay, if you're in bad health and you're sickly, you got lung problems, I may recommend you take that shot. But what I would also tell them, the shot only is good for 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. You got to get a booster. I would say you need to start working on your health. Why don't you start eating good, exercising, get your body in shape so it's operating at optimal capacity. And then your immune system will more than likely fight off these viruses. And if it doesn't, if you get it, the chances of you getting really sick from it are much less. Even the CDC says that a normal person in good health will have mild symptoms. Okay, so there you go right there. A normal person in good health has mild symptoms because their immune system is strong. It's the sickly, elderly people. Now, everybody's going to get old, but the reason a lot of old people pass on from it, maybe it's their time to go, or maybe they haven't taken care of themselves all their lives. Does that mean they deserve to die? Of course not. I'm not saying that. If I was around you and I had the virus and you were older, I would stay away from you. I respect that. I don't want you to get sick because I have something, okay? My kids have had it. I didn't get it. Their symptoms were mild. Okay, I don't run to the doctor every time I turn around to see if I have it. I never went there to see if I had it. Maybe I had it and I didn't know it. It's possible. But the point I'm making is look to yourself first. What can you do? What can you do to prevent yourself from getting really sick before you run to the doctor, before you run to take a shot, or before you try to get someone else to do something for you that you really can do for yourself? As I said, I'm not anti-vaccine. If my mom were here, she would be 82 or 83 years old. I might be happy if she took the vaccine, okay? But I would leave that up to her, because I certainly don't want her to get sick. And if it lessened her chances of getting sick, I'd want my mom around. She's not around, but if she were, I would want that. And I would be cautious about her going out. I would probably offer to buy her groceries for her. I took care of her before she died, as well as my dad, for 4 years. So I understand that. I'm not saying that anybody deserves to pass on from these things. All I'm saying is look to yourself first. What can you do to improve your chances of staying healthy? You have the power to do that. It's not outside of your control. You have the power of what goes into your mouth, what you put into your body, what you do every day. You have control over that. We can't control what's going on out there in the world. I can't control it, but you can control what's going on in your world. Do what you feel like you need to do in the moment to take care of yourself right now, but look ahead. How can you maintain your health, or how can you build your health back up to where if you do get the flu or something, it's not going to be that hard for you because you're in shape. Your body is strong, and you're emotionally strong. You're not full of fear, anxiety, and worry. There's an old Chinese proverb. I think this is funny, but it's somewhat true. There was a gatekeeper at this city, and there were thousands of people in there. And one day the plague came to town. This is a Chinese proverb, kind of odd. That's kind of where our current situation came from. Okay, the gatekeeper's at the gate and the plague comes to town. And the gatekeeper says, I am not going to let you in, plague. And the plague says, oh, I promise I'm only going to kill 5,000 people. And the gatekeeper thought, oh yeah, sure, you're a liar. I know you're going to kill more than 5,000 people. And the plague said, no, I promise, I won't. Just let me in, just to open the gates. And the gatekeeper thought for a moment. He thought, well, if I don't let him in and I don't take this deal, he may find another way to get into the city and then kill everyone. So he said, okay, plague, you promise, give me your word, you will not kill more than 5,000 people. And the plague said, yes, sir, I promise, just to open the gates and let me in. So the gatekeeper thought, well, I better do something. I'm going to make the choice. So he let the plague in. So after the plague was there for several weeks, the plague came back to the door and wanted to be let out by the gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper was angry as hell. He said, plague, you promised me that you would only kill 5,000 people. And look, 50,000 people have died since you came here. You are such a liar. And the plague looked at him and smiled and said, oh, Mr. Gatekeeper, you're so wrong. I only killed 5,000 people. The other 45,000 died from the fear of the plague. So, I will leave you with that. I didn't make it up. I'm just repeating what I heard. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for joining me. Hit that like and subscribe button, notification bell. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.